On this episode of BeckBuilt, we go to VillasLobos and use this 2007 Chrysler 300C to learn all about Hydrolock and the benefits of. Stay tuned and find out if I get it running again. Alright, here we are at the with the 2007. Man, it's hot. Chrysler 300C, the Hemi, that drove through the high water last night. And what it seems like is that it got some water in there and it's hydrolocked and doesn't want to turn over. The motor's acting up as if it's locked up. So we're going to today, first of all, take the coils off, take the spark plugs out, and we're going to see if we can't just straight pump the water out of it using the new starter I put on that enabled us to find out that it was junk. And I got all the coil packs off, 2 spark plugs per cylinder. We're going to go through now and remove the spark plugs. So we already got the other spark plugs out and they were a pain in the ass. We're going to open up and see how much. Oh dude,
it's all moisture. It's got starter fluid.
Oh, it has starter fluid in it?
Smell it.
Oh no, look how wet that is. Hold on. Let's get this camera off of here. So that filter is soaking wet. Look at that. Just water just flying off of it, as well as all the water we got down in the bottom of the air box. So, and if you notice, look at the air intake. It goes down to the bottom of the bumper. So she just scooped up this water,
sucked it in
like an ice cream scoop. So we're gonna shoot some footage of pulling out these other spark plugs on this side so you can see how literally hard they are to remove with the water in the cylinders. Oh, JP's back.
What's up, dudes?
So I got my ratchet, my magic ratchet here because there's no room in this thing to get any spark plugs out of here. So let's start, well, these easy ones in the back. Let's see what we're working with here. The other side was like trying to remove frozen bolts from the car that came from up north. Yep. That should not be that tight. And the other spark plugs I've been pulling out have had water on them. So the car is basically hydrolocked. I just hope that it hasn't done any damage to the aluminum heads overnight. Just come out already! I don't know if you can see this, but see the water? That's actually carbon that's broken off the freed from the piston head because of the water that's stuck to the electrode there. Alright, now we only got, what is this? 7 more to go on this side. Big moment. We're going to hopefully squirt some juices out of the block. Oh my God, keep going! Oh my God, it was everywhere! Alright, so what we're going to do now, since we just got it to puke, we're just going to put a tiny bit of transmission fluid. That was like the only cylinder that was really full of anything. We're just going to put a tiny bit of trans fluid down in the hole, just to treat the cylinders, just a little bit. And then we're going to turn the engine over with that in there. So there's one. And then we're going to go around and do this for the rest of the engine. JP is filming for me a little bit, even though he's supposed to be working. But we sanded the electrodes on the spark plugs. We got them all cleaned up. As you saw, we pumped some water out of this bad mama jama. So now what we're doing is we're going to put everything back together again, and we're going to try to start it. So I dropped these spark plugs in. The other side went in really nicely after I cleaned up the spark plugs, and I'm pre-greasing it a little bit just to help them slide in on the aluminum block. Sorry if it's so loud, but we're on the side of basically a highway. Is right across the street from VillasLobos is where we're at. This is one of the administrative people's cars, and it's an alright car. It's just doesn't need to be driven through 2.5 foot of water, which is what happened here. Apparently the area flooded really bad. And someone said, oh hell, you can do that. I do it all the time. Well, she did it, and she did it forcefully, and basically siphoned water straight into the motor. The air box on these things have a down tube for drawing air that goes straight to the lower bumper into one of the vents. So it might as well have just been an ice cream scoop. Scooping ice cream. Two spark plugs for every cylinder. Definitely explains their power. Other than their just general size and brute force. But it's the wrong car for this engine to be in. I wouldn't mind putting this in an old, just anything old Dodge. Older than this. Rip out the computer and everything. Okay, I got my spark plugs in. Got all the coil packs back on and plugged in. So I gotta change the oil before we can fire this thing off. So I had opened this up once and panicked when I saw how gross it was, so I wanted to record it and show you guys. There was a lot of water. The first 2 seconds that came out was just water. And then it turned into milkshake, and now it kind of looks like oil. See that water? That's so gross. Hopefully my canister is empty enough to take. Now there's the oil. Found the oil! It was above the water. You want to see it? That's the aftermath.
Oh yeah.
What came out of the Chrysler 300. We got the new fresh oil in. It's probably going to need another oil change like twice in a row in the next week. We're going to find out if it runs still or if it's ruined. Come on. Just did it again. No. It locked again. So it's gonna have to be dumped again. Like the plug's got to come back out, and we got to try to pump more water out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole process all over again.
Tomorrow we're gonna do the same process again. It just hydrolocked on me again, and we'll see what we can do here. It's not looking good. If it's coolant filling up the cylinder because she popped a head gasket from compressing water, then it's just going to happen over and over again as we keep trying to start it. So I'll go through and do this one more time, and we'll see if we can't try to dry it out. I got an idea. I'll come back tomorrow with some duct tape, some straws, and the shop vac, and see if we can't suck the cylinders out. So we're not done yet. So it's a different day, and I'm back on the Chrysler 300 that's hydrolocked. These are the plugs I just cleaned the other day. They're gross again. It's because I didn't get all the water out the first time. So this time we're going to try pumping motor again, since the cylinders are obviously full again. There was a lot more water in the intake than anticipated. So we're going to pump the water again. But what's different about today is I have some rubber hose, shop vac, an extension cord, and some duct tape. And we're going to suck everything dry as best as we can to see if we can't force this thing to start, to come back to life. To life. Alright, so let's go pump this key, see how bad it is again. Wasn't too bad. It seemed like it was the same cylinder again. Alright, well, let's get an extension cord set up and just dry this shit out. We're working with the morning sun here today, so it's creating some funny glares. We're gonna see if we can't get something rocking here. Up your nose with a rubber hose. Gotta find some skizzers. Going to reduce this shop vac to this rubber line using duct tape. Yay! How efficient is that? I feel like a damn fool doing this, but I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that'll get this done as easily. I get good duct tape? Yes, I did. Awesome. Luckily, duct tape, as everybody knows, can be shaped to use for many different purposes. That's what we're going to try there. So this is going to get extremely loud here, so I might not be talking, and there might even be some music dubbed over this. In fact, I'm probably just going to dub some music over this. Have you ever seen so many spark plugs for one engine? It's got 2 for every cylinder. Alright, well I got my last plug in. I've been testing the engine to make sure it still turns and doesn't hydrolock as I've been putting the plugs in each cylinder. I just put the last one and I'm going to do a real quick test. If it continues to spin with all the plugs in and doesn't hydrolock, then we can go ahead and put the coils back on and get some starter fluid and see if we can't fire this hoe. That is the best sound I've heard all day. All the plugs are in and the engine freely turns and it's not hydrolocking. Let's see if we can start this hoe. Ooh, now I'm excited. Everything's on and we're going to try to start this hoe. It's going to smoke a lot if it does start, but hopefully it starts. Let's find out. Obviously it ain't ready. It ain't ready yet, but it's not hydrolocking either. I might have to run and go get some starter fluid. So I just got back from AutoZone and I got starter fluid and lots and lots of spark plugs for the Chrysler. We're gonna make it run. When I pulled the spark plugs out the first time, even though they were wet, they already had like all kinds of coral reef growing on them from the fact that they've just been in it for way too long. I would say these plugs are fouled and shot. So we're going to put these brand new beautiful bad boys in here and hope it runs. So I got fresh spark plugs in it all the way around and some starter fluid, you saw that. JP's going to go in here and turn the key while I shoot some starter fluid and see if we can't start it. Ready? Go. Wait, stop. So go ahead, JP. Just turn it. Not even trying. I think we flooded it. It almost started. I wish I'd have got that on camera. Try it again. Stop, there's a funny noise. Yeah. Let me just check on my coils. Keep going. Keep going. Let's go watering this piece of shit. Round 3. Let's see if we can do something about this turd. I'm so tired of seeing this car, but just can't quite get it to start. Stumbled a bunch. So what we're doing today, damn alarm, is we've been having the hood open for the last 24 hours with the butterfly pressed open on the intake, and been trying to let it have a place to vent out, to get air. So now it's time for us to try to actually start it if I can get this stupid hood open. Ah, there's our big piece of junk. Oh, I guess it's time for me to put all the plugs back in and plug it all up, see what happens. Okay, once again, got my spark plugs in, coils are on, everything's plugged in. I'm not going to spray any ether right now. I'm just going to turn it over and see what happens. Come on, baby. Nothing. Alright, just sprayed some starter fluid in here. Now let's try it again. Turn the car off. Turn the car on. Absolutely nothing. In fact, I'm gonna have to put this car on jump. Battery's low. Let's do that. So sad news all around. There's no spark. So that has nothing to do with me. I don't have the equipment to check this out. I don't have a scanning tool or anything. So we're gonna have to end this video on a fail. A big old fail, man. So it's looking like a computer and a reprogram. I don't know. At this point, I'm just kind of washing my hands of it because I can't go any further than what I've done already. These fancy computerized cars, man. What junk.